Hello everybody, my name is Miss Burcicki and I'd like to welcome everybody to my class. I just want to talk a little bit about some of the expectations, things that we'll be doing this year for the 2020 school year. I'm one of the ELA teachers. The other ELA teacher for 7th grade is Mrs. Campbell. She's right next door to me. So we both have a block style schedule for ELA 7th grade. So that means that I see students for double periods each day. The syllabus for my class is located on my school website. So if you go to the Southern Columbia School District homepage and go to the staff directory, and if you scroll down, mine's towards the top since I'm letter B, but Miss Burcicki is my name. So you would click on there, and that's going to take you to basically my syllabus and all the information that is pertinent for my class this year. This is stuff that I will be discussing with my students in person, and I will also provide hard copies of the syllabus. But I just want to talk about a couple key points for parents that might be helpful prior to starting school next week. I know Mr. Roth compiled a 7th grade supplies list just to give parents an idea of what things students might need for this year, especially since we're trying to limit a lot of personal contact with supplies, sharing of items in class. So some of the things that I'm asking for students to come to school with for the first week would be just a simple notebook for ELA. That could be a single subject. It could be a multiple subject notebook. It could also be a binder. I'm pretty flexible with what kids want to do as far as their organization, as long as they have a designated section for ELA. In addition to a notebook, students will also need a folder for ELA. So any type of folder would work. Again, that could be part of a binder system, or it could be separate, or even maybe even built into the notebook, just depending on what type that you buy. Basic writing utensil for ELA, pen or pencil is fine for me. Highlighters are very important for my class, especially when we get into writing. It's very important for breaking up sections of essays that we do, breaking it down into different components so we can discuss. So highlighters are very important. I would say at least 3 different colors of highlighters, just like a simple pack of like a varied color scheme for the highlighters, just so that way we can differentiate as we go through and mark up our writing. So any colors would be fine for that. Also, just really basic supplies like a pack of crayons, colored pencils, markers. You don't have to have all 3, just something that you maybe could use for times throughout the year where we do like a collaborative project where, you know, maybe you're making a poster board, you're designing something, something creative. I like to do a lot of creative projects in here for ELA. So basic supplies for being able to do like a poster project or something of that nature. So that would be important for ELA, making sure that you have just basic supplies. And I think that really that's something that all the teachers are asking for this year. So that goes kind of across the board. Said, just a pack of crayons or just like the real basics. Students will be supplied with their own computers, so it's important that students come to class every day with a charged laptop. There won't be any access to charging in the classroom. That's usually the tech department's policy, plus especially this year with social distancing, it's really important that we maintain our regular seating arrangement and we don't have students moving about the room to be able to plug in their computers. So making sure that you bring your charged laptop every day to school is very important. I also ask that students come to class with their AR book, something that they can read independently, as I usually give some in-class time for achieving the AR goal. Usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would always take some time at the beginning of class as the bell ringer to let students read their independent book. So throughout the year, students will need to be able to access books either through the school library, or I have a classroom library in my room with a wide variety of texts that students can select for AR. And there will be much more information provided about the programs that I'll be using this year with the students, such as AR and Study Island. We don't use them all the time. Well, AR is an ongoing thing, but Study Island is peppered in. So most students are familiar with those programs from previous years if you've been in the district before. Some more information will come out about these things. I'll have handouts and things to send home. I will also have a lot of things uploaded to Teams this year. Teams is the program in Microsoft that I will be utilizing to do SoCo Live to talk to my at-home students that are working online. So the nice thing for this year is that, especially for parents, if you're trying to keep tabs on your son or daughter and what assignments they have, everything will be loaded up on Teams this year digitally for students to access. So that's nice. If somebody comes home without a worksheet, hey, it's online. It'll be easy to get to. With that being said, the Google Calendar is also a very important place to check for my class. That's actually embedded in my website. So if you go to my website to access the syllabus that outlines everything for my class, the Google Calendar is also embedded there. You'll see on the side there's a little tab for homework. The Google Calendar is where all of the 7th grade teachers, core subject teachers, post their homework assignments on a daily basis, and also post any upcoming assignments and projects that'll be due. Test dates are always on there. So that's a really important place to get familiar with. I will be showing my students how to access that, but I know a lot of parents say, like, hey, where can I go to check my son or daughter's homework assignments? And like I said, it's not just my homework that will be posted there. It will be all of their main subject teachers as well. So that is something that you can access through my website. Homework this year, students will definitely have homework. And like I said, as I mentioned, it'll be posted on the homework calendar for parents to be able to see what things are due and when. We have a positive behavior support plan for 7th grade, which I know Mr. Roth, I believe, is going to go into more detail about that. But there will be the things that are part of the positive behavior plan will be implemented in my class, such as the 2 Safari Stack tickets or I should say Tiger Claws. We renamed them. I'm sorry. It used to be Safari Stacks. Tiger Claw tickets to get a homework pass. Basically, I'll be following all the procedures from that positive behavior support plan. So all of those things will apply for my class as well. We like to reward students for good grades, good behavior with the tickets, and then they use those to earn things as rewards. The grading system for my class, you'll see it'll eventually be color-coded in Sapphire when grades begin to get posted. But basically, the color coding is showing that it's a weighted grade system, meaning that tests are worth 40% of the grade, quizzes are worth 20%, projects 25%, AR is worth 5%, and then classwork and homework combined are worth 10% of the grade. So when you see all the different color coding in Sapphire, that just shows that they're from different weighted categories. So that's something that's important to know about the grading system for this year. Extra credit will be available throughout the year. I always offer a couple opportunities for extra credit each marking period. So that's something to be on the lookout for. I always recommend kids do extra credit no matter what their grade is, because there's always room for boosting your grade higher. That way, in case you have a low test or quiz score, you have that extra cushion. But definitely going to be providing extra credit opportunities for students this year. So that's something to keep in mind as well. I know with the uncertain times, and a lot of students probably have a lot of anxiety about what this school year is going to look like. And I can totally sympathize, because we're all kind of in the same boat. We're like, things could change at the drop of a hat. So I want to make sure that I emphasize here to wrap up my video that for any students that are stressed out about this year, please know that us as 7th grade teachers, and also speaking for myself, that we are more than willing to work with you, and we are very approachable for, coming to us for questions and extra help. We want to see all of our students succeed. So no matter what this year throws at us, we'll be able to get through it together with everybody's help. So I'm available to answer emails for my students anytime they have questions. I'm available, of course, during class time to work with the student and, help them get to where they need to be. And also period 11 has always been a time where we use that as like a remediation period for students to come for extra help. So please know that there are many, many opportunities to work with me individually if you're struggling with anything this year. I want students to not hesitate at all to ask me for help when needed, because like I said, it is crazy times, and we all have to be in this together to make it a successful year. I'm really looking forward to working on a variety of literature with my students. My favorite novel to teach is always The Outsiders, and that's one that we usually start early on in the year. We work with novels, we work with poetry, we work with figurative language and literary devices, nonfiction text. We have a real variety that we're going to be using this year. So, and of course, writing and grammar conventions, that all will come into play as well. So it's going to be a busy year. 7th grade English always is, but it's going to be a year full of learning, and hopefully, it'll be a fun year as well for students. I'm really big into doing like collaborative projects and, working together in groups. Some of that might look a little bit different this year, but we're going to do the best we can to make this engaging and to make it fun for everybody, and to also help everybody, have a successful school year for ELA. So just to wrap up, I will be handing out the syllabus and all this important information as soon as we have the first week of school next week. I'll have all this stuff for my students ready to take home, and all this information and pretty much everything we do this year will be online and accessible to my students that are working from home, which also in turn parents will be able to access this stuff as well. To be able to get on Teams and see what things are posted, what assignments are there. So please do not hesitate to reach out with any questions now or throughout the year at any time. I'm happy to hear from you. So my email address is posted there on the staff directory. It's jburcicki@scasd.us. So I'm really looking forward to meeting everybody. It's going to be a great year, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of my students next week. And again, please do not hesitate to reach out with any questions. Thank you.